this huge sort of swampy Delta blues type slide tone. And in today's video, I thought I'd take you through the steps I sort of went through to create or to come up with this tone, these 5 pedals. But what's really interesting with this one is from the amp sound itself through the signal chain, you can get a different sort of usable type of sound at each point. So I thought it'd be fun to work backwards or forwards from the clean amp through the pedals one by one and show you how it sort of all comes together, and also that you can use a combination of them and not all of them at the same time. So let's start by looking at the amp and hearing it clean. Okay, first of all, today's guitar is the Case Guitars 54 Goldtop with the Sunbear 56 SB P90s in. That's a mouthful. Basically, great P90s, lovely guitar, and this one has the 13 to 62 baritone strings on with the wound G, and it's tuned down to standard C, which I think gives it that really meaty sound. You're going to see me use 2 slides today. I'm going to start with this glass one, which is sort of got quite a thick wall to it, but it's really light. And then because that's new to me today and I wasn't quite used to it, halfway through I decided to change to my normal favourite slide, which is the Aerial Posen one. They're both rock slides, as in the company, the rock slide, and I've got a fair few of theirs, so one of my next videos is going to be what do all the different sounds slides sound like. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel, and that'll be in the next few days hopefully. So today's amp, the 2-Rock TS1, and I was playing it relatively clean, so you can see the gain is before midday, quite a lot of treble and middle. I've taken out a lot of the bass because especially when you're tuning down the guitar, you don't want too much muddiness and like wallowy sound, and a fair bit of presence. There's no reverb on this amp, so that's in a plug-in in the DAW. So in itself, that's a lovely tone. It's just on the edge of breakup, especially with these P90s full volume. And it sounds nice. You know, there are certain things you could play like that without using any other effects, but it has got a slightly small sound and a little bit thin perhaps. So the first pedal, which I have on all the time with this amp, is this one. So I love to add in a delay, and especially an analog delay like this one just has a lovely warm sound, warm repeats. And I've got it set here on the bottom. So the 3 knobs are the same top and bottom, and you can just have it set so that you can flick between the 2. So you can see I haven't got a huge amount of time or feedback to the trails or level. It's just quite sort of discreet, and it gives thickness and also that little bit of feeling of space to help you play, which I really love. Okay, working back from there is one of my favorite overdrive pedals, and I haven't got any of the controls set particularly high, which I find is important if you want to start, stacking game pedals together, which we're going to do. So the Jan Ray has that just over the top of edge of breakup sound, real meatiness, quite a lot of low mids, and it gives that sort of thickness, and suddenly we're starting to add compression, so you get a bit more sustain, and it's a bit more easy to sort of do lead lines with the slide. So let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, the next one is the Mythos Mjolnir. Now, this is one of my favourite pedals altogether, along with the Jam Ray, and this does something quite different to the Jam Ray. It's less meaty, it's a bit crispier. Come up with weird terms when we're describing guitar pedals, but for me, that gives that sound. When you just start the slide, it gives this real woomph sort of feeling and sound to it. That's what this Klon Clone does. And the two of them together give you such a great amount of sustain without being too much, and it still sounds quite open and not too mushy. So we'll hear a bit more of that. So you can see the Vemiram Jam Ray and the Mythos Mjolnir. I haven't got anything set particularly high. And just so you get your bearings, that's first in the chain, then the Jam Ray, and then the Analog Man. So the next pedal is probably quite obviously, as soon as you saw it there, that's the Slide Rig by Origin Effects. Now this is a great compressor made specifically for slide, and it's got two stages. And I like to use both stages. It really takes off some of the high-end sort of sizzle, and also just helps with the slide to create a bit more compression and sustain, and also a bit more clarity, I find. You do lose a little bit of dynamics, so obviously if you're going to play some tracks without slide, you could turn it off. I actually quite enjoy it altogether. You can see it's set quite dry, and I've got a lot of attack. So it doesn't feel too sort of non-dynamic, but it certainly affects the way it plays and sounds. So let's hear a bit more of that. So those 4 pedals together, I think, just create a really nice bed to work off of with the slide. You've got enough compression, you've got enough meat and overdrive and furriness to create a really big sound, you know. But I think the secret sort of sauce is the next pedal. Now, you might not be able to get this particular fuzz pedal, but you can work your way through a different germanium fuzz pedals to try it out. And this one we have is the Dominion fuzz, and I'm using it in its germanium mode, medium amount of fuzz and level, and you can alter that depending on the guitar. But I think this is the one that gives it the real sort of magic, to me, the real magic tone. Especially then you can roll it back, you get all sorts of different sounds coming out. And somehow with the fuzz going into the compressor, then into the other 2, and then that, for me, it just creates this awesome, awesome tone that I love playing. So sometimes it can feel a little bit full on to have everything going on at once, you know, from the fuzz through to the compressor, the clone, the Jan Ray and everything. So in this next clip, I've turned off the Jan Ray, and then you can basically then add that back in as a sort of boost when you need it. So let's see what that sounds like. So there we have it. I thought this would be a good one to share with people because I've had quite a few comments about the tone I'm getting for my slide playing, and it's basically you can have a fuzz compressor, 2 gain stages. You know, if you've got a clone, great. If you haven't got a Jan Ray, then I'd suggest something like a Blues Breaker, a Timmy, a Blues Power, something like that will probably give you that low mid grunt. And then a delay. If you've got an analog one, even better. If you haven't, it will still sound great and give it that thickness. So yeah, as I said, the next video is going to be all about what particular slide I'm using, or the few that I'm using. And in that one, I'm finally going to announce the winner of my white protein pedal giveaway. So you literally have 1 or 2 days left to subscribe and comment here on this video. And then I'll put you in the hat. That was my 7,500 sub giveaway. I'm excited to do that, and yeah, it should be in the next video, so good luck with that. And thanks for watching. Oh, what you're going to see now is on the playing out is another guitar of mine that has baritone strings on with the 4 pedals, that is the without the Jan Ray, and just to play you out, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.